Spaghetti westerns are my go-to genre to kick my feet up, lie down and just enjoy some macho melodrama for an hour or two on an evening. I have a special love for these movies, seeing as though it was Sergio Leone and Ennio Morricone who really started my love for film with The Good, the Bad and the Ugly. As fans of this subgenre will tell you, there's a lot of crap that you have to waddle through to find the odd gem here and there after you've seen all the big ones, but still, there are certain directors, actors or composers to look out for in the opening credits to indicate that it might be a decent film, and the inclusion of Lee Van Cleef is enough for me to give it a watch. Day of Anger follows a bastard sweeper who is constantly bullied and looked down upon by the townsfolk. He practices drawing as in drawing his gun, in the barn he lives in, and is taught by a former gunslinger, now a bum. Scott the Sweeper's luck changes when a drifter rides into town, the badass Lee Van Cleef, who eventually takes Scott under his wing. The two take control over the town, but Scott slowly becomes vicious to those around him, a far cry from the poor sweeper we first knew at the beginning of the movie. It does get a little messy with regards to the characters' personalities. We are on the side of the sweeper, but then he starts to change. Meanwhile, Van Cleef seems righteous enough for a gunslinger, and I thought a lot of his actions are justified. But the film seems to rather unsuccessfully try to convince us that his actions are deplorable. It leads the townsfolk to ask the sweeper to distance himself from the gunslinger, with him not sure whether they are trying to trick him or whether Van Cleef is genuinely an awful person. It gets extra confusing when it turns out Scott's original mentor, the bum, has a past beef with Van Cleef's character. All of this made it quite difficult to know who exactly at any given point I'm supposed to be rooting for. Is Scott becoming the villain after his sad upbringing? Are we supposed to hate Van Cleef's character? Is the ending happy or sad? Maybe it's just that I was blinded by Lee being so cool I inadvertently was rooting for him the whole time when he was supposed to be the baddie. Still though, I really enjoyed this movie. It's middle ground for a spaghetti western. The main theme is very catching and was used decades later by Tarantino in Django Unchained's training montage. It's a flamboyant, boisterous score. There are a number of cool shots, most of Lee Van Cleef riding across the plains, and a few decent shootouts. Fans of the genre will enjoy it. Lee Van Cleef is a great watch, the music's on point and the story itself is engaging enough to keep you interested. It was an enjoyable 2 hours. I give the movie a 7 out of 10.